when they thought that it is over, when they thought that it is done, that was a setback to the children of God.
Columbus's earliest development must be a part of any historical sketch of St. Paul because the institution has grown with the town since its earliest days. In 1807, Columbus, Ohio was a small village only recently carved out of the wilderness. In 1814, the First Methodist Church, later known as Town Street Methodist Episcopal, was established in Columbus. The name of its fifth charter member was Moses Freeman, a Malumission slave, who in 1823, with 13 other members from the Town Street Church, left and formed a congregation. They met in a log cabin on Lazelle Alley, just west of Spring Street. They named the church Bethel. Its first pastor was Reverend David Lynch, a circuit rider who also served other circuit congregations. By 1830, the congregation had outgrown the cabin and moved to a site on Long Street between 3rd and High Streets. On August 26, 1837, the First Ohio Annual Conference was held in this building. The membership continued to grow, and a brick structure was built in the same location at 71 East Long Street. It was begun in 1841 and completed in 1844. On September 12, 1846, Bishop Paul Quinn at the annual Ohio Conference held in Cincinnati set Bethel AME Church Columbus off as a station, meaning the pastors assigned would only serve that church. After the Civil War, the African American population in Columbus greatly increased, as did Bethel's congregation, and in 1869 the brick building was sold to Shiloh Baptist Church, and land was purchased across the street. Construction of the new church was begun in 1870, and in 1871 the name was changed to St. Paul. On July 12, 1872, the dedication of the church was officiated by Bishop Daniel A. Payne. In 1900, Columbus was regarded as a safe city, and the 21st General Conference of the African Methodist Episcopal Church was held here, hosted by St. Paul. Around this time, business blocks began to appear around the church, and members were moving farther east. In 1905, the property was sold, and lots were purchased at 639 East Long Street. The plans were completed by Hart Marriott. The church is a modern Romanesque type architecture, constructed of gray pressed brick with sandstone trim. It has a large rose window over the entrance archway between square turrets that rise on either side of the facade. With elaborate services extending throughout the day, the new St. Paul AME Church at Long Street and Jefferson Avenue was dedicated on Sunday, December 2, 1906. Included among those of the prominent clergy were Bishop W.B. Derrick, Bishop C.T. Schaefer, Reverend J.S. Ferguson, and Reverend C.S. McGee. In March of 1920, the Austin pipe organ of magnificent tone was installed. As were most churches, St. Paul was a neighborhood church, but in 1956, the Federal Aid Highway Act was enacted, and by 1962, the construction of Interstate 71 had destroyed much of the predominantly African American East Side neighborhood, including St. Paul's 8-room brick parsonage. The freeway literally separated St. Paul from the rest of the neighborhood. In 1976, a new red covering was added to the exterior to protect the 70-year-old pressed brick. Beginning in 1991, complete interior renovations were begun, including the enlargement of the pulpit and choir box, as well as the rebuilding and enlarging of the Austin organ. In 2003, the design concept was conceived by member Kevin M. Holland of Moody Nolan Incorporated, and the Wellness Center was completed and dedicated in 2006. We thank you, O God, for holding in your care those you sent ahead of us. They prepared a road, marking its pitfalls, digging wells for our thirst, building shelters for our rest. Sometimes they stumbled, many times they were injured, but on they went, carrying a spark of the divine. Not all of them were saints, but each of them possessed something worth remembering, something loved, something sacred, something honorable, something good. For the life of each of these persons, and for the lives of all those who have no one to remember their names, we give you thanks. St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church, Columbus, Ohio, 1823 to 2023.
I am the Reverend Dr. Morne E. Mayer, and I am proud to serve as the 57th pastor of the historic St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church, found right here on 639 East Long Street. It is a great honor and a privilege for me to welcome you all to our 200-year anniversary celebration. As we celebrate our anniversary, we are taking time to honor our past, rejoice in our present, and to take notice of our future. God has blessed us and kept us through the good and the bad.